Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
Is the lot. What in the world, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 123. TJ, you're just in time. I thought you'd left me solo. We know that Kenny's ditched us for the evening. Thought I lost both of you.
He does that from time to time.
Ooh, I gotta say, we got another one here that I got high hopes for, TJ. I don't think it's gonna slap quite like the crispy treat last week, but I got high hopes for these tan lines from Memphis made. We're drinking this because this time next week I will be tan lining up. I'll be down at the beach, the 30A area. So
this is Memphis made tan lines, a Kolsch aled with tangerine.
Wow. It's quite a bit of tangerine in that one.
There is a bit of tangerine in that. It is a nice little punch to the face.
I mean, that's a big squeeze right there.
What are you gonna do? You know? Summer fun.
The biggest
fun fact about this beer. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but there's a fun fact with this beer. There's a fun fact with this beer.
Interesting. I don't know what that is. Excited now
about it.
All right, Timothy. We had a lot of stuff happen in the last week. Starting off, we talked about it last week, but officially welcoming Doug and Aaron to the Tiger Hoop squad. We got 2 more commits out of the young fellas. Not really young fellas, I guess. Doug will be a true senior, redshirt senior. Mm-hmm. And Aaron, he'll be in his 3rd year after being at Kentucky and Ohio State. So you got your point guard. And right now, I guess Aaron's your 5 because we don't really know what's going on with Dane. So
yeah.
Right now, you kind of got a starting 5 with what? Doug, Sincere, Zach. I don't know who'd play the 4.
You could put a 5 together. You could put 5 people together. Right,
Ashton at the 4.
I mean, I think Davis is tall enough. Yeah, Ashton or Davis. I feel like you could get away with putting Ashton at the 4. Maybe Davis. I don't know. They're both tall, pretty lean. With Davis at the 4. But what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Maybe Thetford
could work.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Davis 6'7". I forgot he was that big.
Yeah,
I did.
That's what they claim. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, so big news there. Now we're just waiting on Dane's waiver and a potential return of none other than the PJ Haggerty. I don't know if you noticed this, but up until today, there hadn't been a list. I mean, there'd been rumblings of some teams involved or interested, but there'd been no official list from any, like, no insiders, nothing. Until today, I guess, what was it? College Basketball Alert, maybe?
Yes, that's correct.
That tweeted out an official list for PJ. And the 4, it was a 4-team list. Sorry, college basketball content. According to a source, the 4 schools that PJ is down to are NC State. So our boy William Wade, Ole Miss, which I think we had talked about before. If he goes there, we'll never talk to him again. Texas, and then a return to Memphis as the 4th option. So there's obviously a possibility. I mean, Penny talked to the media last week. I think Ed Scott talked to the media a little bit at a booster dinner one evening, and they both were like, we're not ruling out a possibility of PJ coming back. You know, there were obviously no bridges burned and him entering his name into the portal. So
No, I mean, shoot your shot, right? I don't think anyone's going to blame you. I think it's the only time it's a problem is that when you are saying I'm coming back, like I'm fully committed, and then you hit the portal and you just kind of blindside
And you
somebody. I think
don't
that's
come back.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
See, I mean,
that's a
that's
little
where
shitty, but what are you gonna
that's
do?
where we had weeks and weeks of silence. We kept talking about it. We weren't hearing one way or the other whether he was coming back or not. Now there were some posts put out there, I think, by the social media team that, looking back now, it's like we put that out and then he's not coming back. But I mean, it sounds like it's definitely still on the table. Now, TJ, if he comes back, who's going to be pissed off?
Sincere.
Yeah, I think it'd be Sincere.
Yeah.
Do you think you think we're looking at a situation where he would re-enter?
How can you?
I mean, he can
Just
just
locked.
he was already in the portal. He just decommit.
No, he's signed, is he not?
Yeah, but
Was he one of the ones that signed?
I think you're right. Can't you get out of signings very easily now, though?
Yeah, if it's before the portal. I think once the portal closes, that's where you're at. I think you're locked.
Well, then I guess too bad. Locked and loaded.
Quantivieri could be mad. I mean, whatever. But
I don't know how anybody could be mad with All-American potentially coming back.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Oh, shoot. Would you be mad?
Yeah, I'd be real mad if he came back. You know what I mean?
DJ would be pissed. Put a percentage chance on PJ coming back.
Oh, I am one that thinks PJ is likely headed to Texas personally, based off things I had heard previously before the Ole Miss stuff came out.
Wow.
That does change things, though. I think the Ole Miss is
who
very
did Texas
interesting.
end up hiring? Sean Miller.
I don't know.
Wow.
Sean Miller. That's a
When
great
did
hire.
that happen?
The sweaty man himself.
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you give a great coach like Sean Miller with Texas's funds. I mean, it feels like it should be Arizona 2.0. Maybe he can actually win something this time around. But I was still leaning Texas. It just seems right. I know Will Wade obviously makes a big effing offer. What did he offer? What was the quote? The Will Wade.
Big ass offer or something like that.
A big ass offer, yeah. Maybe he gives him a big ass offer.
It was something like that.
I
mean, also he's going back to who'd be pissed off. You think it might be Doug? Since I mean, it's been floated out there that he wants to.
Depends if he actually plays point guard, yeah.
So I wonder how.
I'm all good on that.
I mean, you got to say that, like, I'm sure Coach Hardaway has been like, yeah, you can be point guard. Right.
It's who isn't point guard on the team.
Right. We've tried everybody. We've tried everybody under the sun at point guard. So running PJ at points, no problem. So maybe it would be Doug that would be a little ticked off about that. I don't know. I will say this, with everybody that's committed so far, I think everybody is signed. I'm all for it. It's like last year, man.
Lock them in early.
We're not even at May 1st yet, and we got basically the whole team, 85% of the team here.
Yeah.
Right. You get Dane back, and if PJ comes back, then basically your whole team is here, and we're not even in May. Obviously, I don't think you're going to get an answer with Dane or PJ by then, but before the summer officially starts. So I think that's good news. Get the guys here early, get them in all summer, let them get acquainted with one another, let them learn the system, understand what you want out of them defensively. So I'm excited. I'm excited for where we're going.
Is PJ the biggest name in the transfer portal right now? He's got to be, right? Yeah, it has to be.
Uncommitted. I mean, off the top of my head, yes. I can't think of really anybody else that's. I mean, there may be somebody uncommitted that's there. Who's got that list up there? Evan Maya, maybe. Is it Maya or Mia?
Maya. Oh, I always said Maya. I don't know.
Transfer
Chad Baker
portal.
Marza, did he ever commit anywhere?
He just committed to USC.
Marza? That's not right. Chad Baker.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
right.
Marza. Mazzara.
Yeah.
Mazzara.
He's one of the most unlikable dudes I've ever watched in college basketball.
He is. I like him though. I'd want him on my team though.
Sure. Evan has Boogie Fland from Arkansas in the portal as the #1 transfer, and he has not committed anywhere as of today.
Okay. I mean, it's subjective, whatever. Just
And then
I feel
he's
like it
got
has to be. Is anybody else
Darren
an
Williams from
All-American?
Texas
Darren
Tech.
Williams, Texas Tech. That's a good one.
He hasn't committed anywhere. He's got PJ at 16th. There's a couple.
Yeah.
Elijah Hawkins from Texas Tech, Ben Gregg from Gonzaga are the 4 that are in front of PJ on this list that haven't committed. So
Okay.
not bad. I mean, yeah, he's one of the top for sure that's out there that hasn't.
Yeah.
Wow, Dawson Garcia, remember that name?
Yeah. How is he still in college?
I don't know, but he is in the portal.
Okay.
He's out there. He's available.
Where was he last? He was at Minnesota and Marquette. And
I think he ended up. I think he's in the portal from Marquette.
Marquette,
Minnesota,
North Carolina, Minnesota. So he was. That's crazy.
Although I don't know that. I mean, they got he's got In Shefflin on here from Clemson, and he has no eligibility. So
let's look at this. So he played.
I mean, you shouldn't.
Dawson Garcia played 27 games at Marquette, 16 at North Carolina, 26 at Minnesota, 31 at Minnesota, and 32 at Minnesota. How the hell?
He's probably.
Can we not go ahead and lock in Dane Deja for coming back?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the problem with
We're talking about a dude who played 132 career games in college.
I know, but I think
he's got more time.
I think the problem with Danges is his first year. I think he was academically ineligible, but it doesn't matter because your clock still starts. And then the year that he only played 3 games, I think it's because he entered the portal.
Yeah, he transferred mid-season.
So I think they're saying he's already had his 5 years. It kind of sounds a little bit like
off 5 years of Dawson Garcia.
I know
he's still going.
No, I don't think I think he's got to be one that doesn't have eligibility left. I think he just, these dorks are entering when they don't have, like Ian Shefflin from Clemson entered. He doesn't have any eligibility. I'm looking.
Would you take him on your team?
Yeah, 6 days ago, Dawson Garcia got denied for 1 more year. Would I take who?
Ian Shefflin.
Yeah.
I don't think he fits a Penny South system, but
I mean, I
feel like he's a guy you would like on your team.
I would like him for sure. I'd argue he fits. He could fit.
I just don't think he's fast paced. I don't think he's trying to run and gun up the court any, but you get into that. Well, we say this, but here we just watched Dane Danger be awesome doing the same thing.
Yeah, well, he got
a little different argument, but yeah. Shefflin not really
but it doesn't matter. He didn't have eligibility anyway. Speaking of roster, DJ, some folks out there are going to be like, what the heck are you guys doing? But it's never too early for some sausage. So we're gonna sausage maker it up. Where do you have you seen these already? Do you know where we're at?
No.
Given the current state of the team, okay. Currently, with where we are at right now, take a guess as to what you think our ranking is. Given our current
based
team.
off Doug, Sincere, Quante, all those guys.
This is Doug, Zach, Aaron, Quante, Sincere, Julius, Ashton, Verituck, Dante. Did we already say Dante?
No. I don't think it's going to be very good. I'll be honest with you. There's just not much behind that.
What are you saying not very good? What's not very good to you?
I'm 90.
Whoa.
I don't know. There's not a lot there. I mean, you got to think about it from the standpoint of Zachary Davis is on a bad team.
Well,
Sincere Parker was on a good team, but he didn't really play. Aaron Bradshaw's kind of been a nothing guy. Dougie Doug has bounced around. I just said bad. Okay, 82. A little bit better. I had no high hopes for the sausage here.
You're about 30 strokes off the sausage. As the team would sit today, 63.
Oh, okay. That's much better.
Which is not terrible. Also, we'll just say Bart's got a note up here that says it is too early to use this tool. Well, then don't make it available to me, Bart.
Yeah. What do you mean?
So we're at 63 as it is today. If you add in, let's say nothing else except for just Dane gets a waiver. So where we're at, and then when you just add Dane in, what do you think that jumps you?
Probably shoots you up 42.
Yes, close 45. So a couple spots better than where you finished this season. I think you finished in the 50s this year. And then if you add, let's say, not only does Dane get cleared, but our All-American PJ Haggerty comes out and he says, you know what? Memphis is actually 44 with Dane. Memphis is my home, and it's where I need to be.
See, now I think you could convince me it's a top 25 roster. You get an All-American in a second year with Penny. You get Dane back. You add a 5-star Aaron Bradshaw, a 7'7", whatever he is listed at. Doug has experience. Yep. It depends who's starting and who's going to play where. Is what Sincere's role going to look like? I think you could convince me it's a top 25 roster. Based off your face, it's not a top 25, and it's probably just a bit outside.
I agree with you. You're talking about an All-American for sure. Dane Danger, who's an All-AAC newcomer of the year. I mean, he looked like an All-American.
He just had an awesome year.
Month of the season, so there's no telling what he would look like coming back. You're talking about Doug McDaniel being in there, like you said, Sincere Parker, who's just a bona fide baller.
Got to figure out his role. I think that's the big thing there.
Bart's got it at 35, so just outside of a top 25 team. But that's, again, he's also himself has said it's too early to use this. So there's no, know, we come back in August and replug this in. Very easily could be top 25. But I think just looking at it without any sort of sausage being made, I think in my mind, a top 25 team. I don't know how it wouldn't be. Even if you just bring in PJ and Dane back, I don't really honestly care who the other three would be on. That's a top 25 team to me.
To me, that may be a stretch. That's a stretch for me, but especially since you don't have a 4 in that scenario, I think that's
how do you not have a weakness? Why don't you have a 4?
You still think? Are you stating this saying Ashton's going to be your 4?
Throw Dane as the 4 and Aaron as the 5. Put them out there together.
How long?
But yeah, that? I would take Ashton as a 4, especially if I get Michigan game Ashton every night.
Yeah, Trey. If he gives me 17 points a night, I think I would take him. I think it would work out.
I'm just saying, it's there. But possibilities there. This Rockets Golden State game is getting real heated. Every time I look up, there's a fight.
I love it.
I don't know if you have it on.
I don't. What was Dane, like 15 and 6 on the year? Averaging 15 and 6. And there
sounds close to right, but I mean, that's also including the first half of the year where Musa started over him and he wasn't getting.
Yeah, it was the back half of the year, I guess. So we could look at it by that.
He was 15 and 7.5 and almost 2 assists. But honestly, I mean, the last month of the season, it was like 20
heating up.
20 and 9.
Run that.
We had 22 and 12, 23 and 11, 20 and 6, 19 and 8, 16 and 17, 25 and 10, 22 and 11.
Play on.
Goodness gracious. My guy was eating. Eaton.
If you look at conference play on, he was. That is a total. I don't want the totals. 17 and 8. Yeah, so not much better, but 17 and 8.
I mean,
2 assists from conference play on. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a damn good.
I expected higher. I don't know why, but pretty good. I mean, it's. I don't know. You could convince me it's close, but I don't think I'd put it in top 25 with just PJ and Dane. I do. We've talked about this essentially every year. Some type of consistency on the damn roster is nice. So you bring back your two best players for their second year, and then you sprinkle in experience with Doug.
Yep.
That's really about it with experience.
Yeah, if you brought back 2 starters and Dante Harris from last year, I think you're in a real good spot. Look, I'm not going to get too excited because at the end of the day, I don't think PJ's going to end up coming back. But
yeah,
hey, it's April 28th. We can dream about it.
We can dream. A girl can dream.
I don't know. I guess since he's in the portal, he doesn't really have a timeline to make a decision either. So who knows? This could drag on for.
It's good. It's a good point. When do you have to commit somewhere by?
I don't.
Just
I
when
think
school
you just
starts. Is that what it is?
By whatever the latest you can enroll in school. I mean, we've seen that the last couple of years with guys coming in 2 weeks into classes starting.
Yeah, freaking dude from Boise. What's his name?
We could be rolling into August and still not have an answer. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm sure we'll hear something in the next month or so, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Going to the highest bidder. Rumors are out there. It's $4 million. I don't think he'll get that, but
no,
maybe he gets close.
JT Toppin got $4 million though, so maybe
he gets close. We'll have to see. All right, Timothy, let's take a break. We come back. We're going to get takeaways from the spring game. We got the new Smash Brothers have committed to the football team, and then the NFL draft happened last week. We got some Tigs signed up for the NFL. We'll talk about that when we come right back.
Yeah.
But they have to be able to play harder at a higher level and still be able to execute for longer stretches to give themselves a realistic chance of winning the game. Because when you play against this caliber of team, sometimes it just takes your will and your want to have to be more than theirs. And right now, I just still feel like even though the Thunder being the number 1 seed, the expected team, they've played with more desperation for longer stretches than the Grizzlies have. Why it has been so lopsided is because the better team and who they've been all season is still playing harder than the other team. So if the better team also plays harder, then those two, if you put that plus that equals what has happened.
Yeah. Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I'm not trying to kick a dead horse, but this team looks like a team that was allowed to and had a lot of bad habits. And I'll say this, bro, bitch assness was allowed and is pouring through these dudes' veins for too long. I think a lot of the allegations that have been given to the Grizzlies, they're real, man. Front runner. You got to take that. We front runners.
Front runners, bro.
Soft, yes. When Draymond Green came out and said about the team having the DNA of the coach, it's Taylor Jenkins shit. And them dudes that's on the coach they've had. It's a lot of soft, weak-ass shit that's in this team, man. It's just weird basketball we play.
Yep.
And it's because we've been doing this stuff for so long. And whether it's Tomas Isolo or whoever you got as your coach next year, it's a lot of stuff going to have to get uprooted, like truly uprooted, to get these guys to be whatever they're going to be.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Ba-da-da-da. Gosh, those commercials make me sad. Grizzlies, tough stuff.
Bunch of bitch assness.
Yeah. But you know where there wasn't any bitch assness was at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium on Saturday.
See what you did there.
Candidly, I didn't make it out. I had some things. But TJ made it out there and stood in line for face paint for approximately 47 and a half minutes.
Just for clarification, it was not my face. It was our children's face.
You should have, after waiting that long, also been painted up. What did they get? What did they get painted on?
Julian was a shark. You know this. He's big into monster trucks, and there's a monster truck named Megalodon. So he got Megalodon on the side of his face, and our daughter got kitty cat, a white kitty cat, white and pink kitty cat, which absolutely ran off and got all over everything. So there's that.
Yeah, face paint is actually the worst.
It's a double-edged sword, man. Honestly. It's cool. It looks fun. It's a mess.
It's the worst. And if it doesn't run off, then it's the kind that's like a pain in the ass to get off. You know?
Yeah, and kids,
and then they're
a 3-year-old and an almost 2-year-old not going to let you wash their face,
scrubbing their face off. Yeah.
Dude,
besides the face paint and the equipment sale, TJ, how did it? What was the vibe out there on Saturday?
It was good. It was actually a pretty good turnout. I was not expecting that many people to be there. The Grizz game going on at the same time
looked good.
Yeah, I mean, with the Grizz game going on at the same time, I was skeptical. I know the Grizz, again, haven't looked great, haven't really given you much to believe in, but it's just the fact that they were going on at literally the exact same time was kind of tough. But no, it actually turned out really well, I would say. A lot more people showed out than expected. I know it was going to rain originally, and then it ended up not showing out. I had mixed feelings on the spring game. Mostly because you didn't get to see much of what you wanted.
Yeah, I haven't necessarily liked it since they've started doing the like draft edition of it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see 1v2, 1v1. You know, I mean, I know that they're not going to do that anymore, but also the goofy part of it was like everybody's in there talking about Brandon Lewis and AJ, and then they're on the same daggum team.
Yeah, it was,
which I
guess
was
kind of weird, but I think that's a good thing at the same time that you, statistics wise, let's see who grabbed this. I'm going to say it's Jonah. Yeah, Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeal collected the stats and put them in his article, so you can check that out. But Brendan Lewis, 5 of 6 for 29 yards. AJ Hill, 10 of 18, 54 yards. So obviously not many attempts there, not doing too much. I think they know what they had there. I think what they wanted to do was get Maiden some run, let him see what he can do, give him the most amount of snaps. And this is obvious. If anyone was at the game and even at the stat line, 18 for 31, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So he clearly got the most play. I think they really want to figure out what they have in Arrington. And his game, his skill set is very similar to Brendan Lewis in the way that he can scramble and move about.
Slinging that thing, it sounds like.
He has a weird delivery at times. Again, a lot of the play was strange. There was a lot of pressure up the middle, which makes me hopeful for the defensive line, but also like, again, catch 22. Like you're like, great, my offensive or my defensive line is good. And then you're like, actually, maybe just my O-line sucks. I don't know yet. So it's but they're mixing and matching a lot of guys, right? And you're still missing some guys. I believe Austin Gentle, the Harvard transfer, is still committed, still going to come to Memphis. I don't think he's here yet. That's likely going to be your starting center. So
tough for those Harvard guys to leave early.
Can't quit school so quickly.
Finish the year out, you know.
Yeah, so they bounced around a couple of guys. Kiri Walker from Colorado, and I think it was Jacob Norcross, who's at Kennesaw State, who started for Kennesaw State. I mean, so he's got snaps under his belt. Granted, it was on a 2-10 team, which isn't great, but he does have some snaps under his belt there. So really just mixing and matching, right? They're still trying to figure out the offensive line. You're literally replacing everybody but Chris Adams. And arguably Malachi Breland, however you think about that. He started interchangeably throughout the year. So a lot of changes, man, a lot of changes. The one thing that stood out to me, CJ Smith, the receiver, who
I was gonna say he had a day, didn't he? Had 100 and something yards rushing or receiving and a tutty.
I don't remember the exact stats on it or anything like that, but he definitely looked the best to me from the receiving core. He is blazing fast. And again, I tweeted about it. I know it's the spring game, so it's kind of hard to take much away from it, but he very much so looked like the guy that he is always supposed to have been. He definitely, I would feel comfortable saying that he is probably your number one receiver right now. And granted, this is based off the smallest sample size ever, but 6 catches, 102 yards, and that 60-yard touchdown bomb.
Yeah. And it sounds like Crams expects the offense as a whole, not just CJ Smith's speed, but overall the entire offense to be faster, which is exciting stuff. Looking forward to that for sure. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it started out a little slow. Defense came out, was kind of shutting each other down, 0-0. It sounded like after the first, technically half, I guess. And then, Maiden's grade team wins 14-3, I think was the final. So, I heard, did Cross get hurt? Is that what happened?
He did. He laid down on the ground for a bit. He was later wearing a knee brace. It didn't look like it was anything too serious, but I think there's precautionary. You put a brace on it, mobilize it. If you want another slight, I mean, I don't want to say it's as much as a blowout that CJ Smith was, but Bryce Anderson, who's likely going to be your backup tight end, looked very much so the part that he could start. I mean, he reminded me of Lanfear. Everything that Lanfear does, he could do. You saw him take catch the ball, and then basically just turn it, run diagonal, and try to outrun a DB. He didn't, but it ended up being a pretty good game. So I would be hopeful if something were serious with Cross, I'd be hopeful that Anderson could help out.
Did who had the other big touchdown catch?
Christian Ross.
Yeah,
Ross.
Ross.
String tight end. Yeah, he had a good catch. He's more of an athlete, man. I mean, he's a big kid. I mean, he's probably like 6'4", 230, 240. I mean, kind of looks like you remember how Sean Dykes was a very fluid athlete? He just wasn't very big.
He wasn't that big.
You know, he wasn't that big, but no, that's what I'm saying. But like Christian Ross is like Dykes in his fluidity, but he's bigger. Like he's actually bigger. I think he's listed. Let's see what he's listed at. I think they have Ross at 6'4". This says 6'4", 225. He looks bigger than 225 to me. But he's very Dykes-esque in the way that he can move very well.
Got it. Well, sounds like it was a good afternoon
we made a 40-yard field goal.
Hey, there we go. Who kicked that one?
There's a plus. Oliver Castaneda.
There we go.
Yeah.
Don't hate to hear that at all. It had extra distance on it. Are we talking about where 40 was pushing it?
He could have gone more than 40.
Okay.
I'm going to butcher this name, dude. Gianni Spetic. The kicker transfer. I cannot remember where he's from specifically, but he missed a 41-yarder. Not great to know there. He's from Ohio. I gotta get the voice pronunciation of these names. Get those loaded on the website because I'm gonna butcher this. Wolo needs them.
Not terribly concerned about the kicking game quite yet, but
we did have a trick play. Brady Klooster.
I heard that Klooster
was to Bryson. Yeah, 49-yarder.
Throwing his name in the hat for the quarterback position with the freaking 50-yard bomb. Who did he throw to?
Bryce Anderson. I'll tell you what, Brady Klooster is much bigger than I expected.
Yeah.
Like seeing him down on the ground. I mean, he looks like a baby face, but if you look at him, they say he's only 6'2", 188. I don't know if I believe that. I think he's bigger than that. At least he comes off bigger than that as well. So, I mean, if he told me he was 6'3", 215, I'd believe it. I mean,
Well, surely they're not undersizing him on the roster.
Well, he's still growing. Maybe they should have measured him this year,
Just looks good. Solid looking kid. TJ, we got big transfer portal commits, the new Mashburn Bros and the Law Bros, Nashville natives. If anybody remembers, gosh, what were the Mashburn brothers' names?
Cade
Cole and
and
Cade.
No.
Yeah, Cole and Cade. These linebackers from North Carolina transferred in. Cade and Cruz Law.
Incredible.
I think
names.
Christ Presbyterian Academy, CPA in Nashville. I don't know how good they are. I mean, I know one of them. Let's see.
We're talking about the 23rd best line. Cruz Laws was a 3-star, the 23rd best linebacker in the country.
I'll take it.
I mean,
what does that tell you though about they not have a? We're just adding depth at linebacker, or are these guys potentially coming in as battling for a starting role?
Well, I mean, it's always up for interpretation, right? I mean, in terms of the depth chart,
who am I kidding? You ask Ryan, everybody's battling.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, it's literally a free spot. Like you are not returning a guaranteed starter on defense outside of William Whitlow and Cortland Marsh, right? And even then, like just because they played last year doesn't mean they're going to start. We saw that with Cormonte. He started, had a pretty good year. Next year, absolute no show. Keviante Spears had an incredible freshman campaign. Gone, already in the transfer portal. Didn't really get much play last year. Isn't going to get any time this year. Boom, he's out of there. So Brumfield, Roussel, Watts, Burden. Who am I forgetting? Ward. I mean, you got 5 transfer linebackers right there, and now you bring in these 2 guys. It's a lot of names,
Yeah.
Memphis clearly doesn't feel happy about the depth that they have, or they wouldn't be taking them in, right?
Cade will be a sophomore. Cruz will be Cade will be a junior. Cruz will be a sophomore. Supposedly, Cade played in every game last season. Statistically, not showing up. He recorded a tackle against North Carolina Central. Looks like maybe their second game of the year. And then played in the Fenway Bowl against UConn, in which they lost to UConn. But he had a tackle and a sack. I guess one sack for a tackle, a solo tackle. So 2 tackles on the year with a sack.
Okay.
Must have been a big special teams guy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like. But you're also not expecting a lot of playing time from a freshman sophomore for the most part.
Yeah. I will say in the comments though, where they entered the portal, a lot of Tennessee faithful in there, either wanting them or predicting them to go to Tennessee. So we'll see what happens. Maybe a couple good little gets there by Ryan and staff.
Yeah. If anything, it just builds a deeper pipeline out of that Nashville area, right? I think that's what they're trying to consistently do.
Just get up in Nashville's pipeline. TJ, the NFL draft happened. There was one single Tiger drafted. Yep. And I don't think any of us would have predicted that would have been Kobe Minor. And not only was he drafted, Timothy, he was Mr. Irrelevant, which is becoming a Tiger DB
specialty, right?
Spot. That's what we're known for. We are Mr. Irrelevant U. After Lonnie Ballantyne. I feel like we've had another one. We were trying to talk about this beforehand, but I guess maybe that's the only one or the only 2. But shout out to Kobe getting drafted, Mr. Irrelevant. Prove the haters
and that's not. You were saying that we didn't think that Kobe Minor would get drafted, and that's not like a slide at Kobe. It's just
not at all.
There's 1,000 cornerbacks in this draft, so like the odds of it being Kobe, it was just not
well. Just also off this team, like based on what we'd seen out of Seth, you thought maybe he'd get taken.
Sure,
potentially could have seen like Rock, just given his intangibles, size. You know,
just the size,
maybe Ben one, or even Chandler if somebody was just gonna he's just a football player. He's undersized,
Yeah.
but he's a football player. So somebody may take a chance, but it ended up being Kobe. So shout out to him. Quite a few taken though undrafted as free agents. I don't know if you got the whole list. We got a list.
We got
ramble them off.
Yeah, Seth Hennigan, obviously to the Jaguars. Great place for him. You have no pressure that you have to start right away. Obviously, behind Trevor Lawrence, I think a lot of people could see that as like a downside type of thing. But who is their backup? I mean, I don't even. There's a total chance that Seth could win out the backup job, right?
That's how it should be, right? In the NFL, you want to come into a system with a guy that's been there,
sit like that,
learn under him for 2 or 3 years, and then maybe it becomes your spot, right? Like, who wants to be thrown straight into the freaking fire in today's? I don't know. I just feel like that's what keeps happening to some of these quarterbacks, and then they fizzle out, and we're never hear from them again.
Yeah, it's Nick Mullins, who, as a Vikings fan, I'm quite familiar with, and he's absolute hot garbage. So
Seth's
Seth could beat him out.
Seth's got a real shot.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, depending on what they're expecting from him and how quick he needs to learn it, I think there's possibility there. He could definitely stay on the roster. I mean, worst case scenario. Rock Taylor to the Steelers, love that. Hook him up with Calvin. Demir going to the Patriots. Chandler Martin to the Ravens, which I love. That's the best one out of all.
I saw your tweet. That does make a whole lot of sense. You got me real fired up for that after I read. I mean, when you think about NFL and you think defense, it's got to be the Ravens. So how exciting!
They don't miss, Chandler. They don't miss on any of their draft picks. They don't miss on any of their evaluations. Nothing. Like, they are incredible at finding talent, recognizing talent. And taking the talent, and they just are. I mean, and for them to go out and then immediately grab Chandler, it's like, yeah, okay. Well, we should have seen this coming because they are so good at finding that type of talent and then finding ways to use that talent. So it's
shout out to the Buccaneers. Took Alan Cross, and they're taking Landfear. Yeah, a little Memphis Tiger tight end, little tight end love.
Aren't we all? Where we at? Davion Ross is at the Titans, like you said. Landfear to the Bucks. And then you obviously had some camp invites. Julian Barnett, who still counts as a Tiger since I think we were the last school he played for. I got a camp invite to the Seahawks. Trent Holler got a camp invite to the Giants. And Tristan Vandenberg to the Titans. So a couple guys on the same team there. That's got to be kind of fun and kind of interesting moment there.
You think Davion and Tristan hung out a lot?
Probably not, but I'm sure it's nice in those moments to have a familiar face around, right? I'm sure they
haven't named the Hard Knocks team yet, have they?
I don't believe so.
It'd be cool to see one of these guys get some Hard Knocks airtime.
There was, let's see. I saw a list actually on Twitter.
There's a list of eligible teams because it's got to be teams that
it's so weird that
make
there's
the
like
playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so eligibles: the Cardinals, Falcons, Wait, what? Okay, technically, Cardinals, Falcons, Ravens, Bills, Panthers, Bengals, Broncos, Packers, Texans, Colts, Chiefs, Dolphins, Vikings, Giants, Eagles, Steelers, 49ers, Seahawks, Titans, and Commanders technically can all be there, which doesn't make any sense to me. But
what? I thought there was something about they didn't take a team that had whatever. Okay, that's a pretty lengthy list.
Yeah, it's half the league. There's a shorter list out there. I cannot find it. But
so Ravens, you could see little Chandler Martin love. Steelers, maybe Rock, Calvin could be in there.
Here's the shorter list. It's the Falcons, Panthers, Seahawks, and Titans. Because you can be forced to participate.
Yeah.
Right. And if they have appeared on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years, they have a first-year head coach, and they've reached the playoffs in either of the 2 preceding seasons, they are exempt from being forced to participate. Yeah. It's got to be Carolina, right? Or Atlanta. I could see Atlanta too.
Who were the four you said? Seahawks, Titans, Atlanta, and
You would say that it's Falcons, Panthers, Seahawks, Titans.
Panthers. Yeah.
The Titans would be fun, right? I think a lot of
Titans,
people like that,
yeah,
especially in this area. There's Titan fans
with
around.
getting Cam drafted. You got a rookie quarterback coming in. That could be a fun one.
Dude, not even just that. And this is kind of off the cuff here that I kind of went under the radar. Xavier, I don't know how you pronounce his first name, Restrepo, that receiver from Miami. They just signed him undrafted. And this dude just put up like a back-to-back 1,000-yard receiver with Cam as back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving.
Got a little connection there.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, but he's good.
Yeah. Of all the Tigers we just named, who's the one guy you're giving the best shot to make a roster? Final man. Week 1, he's on the roster.
If I had to pick,
I'm surprised it's taking you this long.
Well, I'm trying to think about it from the perspective. Let me pull back up that list.
The Hard Knocks list?
No. What the list of where everybody landed. Because the only thing concerns me, Seth is the one I would pick. But I think there's something weird about NFL teams keeping 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Like, I think they technically have 2, and then one's on the practice squad. So I didn't know if I was going to get caught with a technicality there. I'm going to say surpriser. I'm going to say Anthony Lanfear.
Wow. That does surprise me a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick Lanfear.
Especially as much as you liked the Ravens taking Chandler.
I love it. I just don't know what they're going to do with them. I think they still got to figure him out. It's also his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Baltimore doesn't have an incredible defense sitting there, right? It's nothing against Chandler. It's just the fact that they're already awesome, and they're going to probably just staff Chandler aside and let him grow, let him learn, and he'll figure it out. And hopefully no one claims him off their practice squad or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully one of these, hopefully it's the Titans maybe. We can see a little Davion Ross.
Wait, who's your answer? You didn't.
I don't. You kind of talked to me out of Seth now.
I'm not trying to. I don't know the rule about how many quarterbacks. Maybe you can have 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
I think you can, but I think you're right. I think some teams are weird about it. I don't know who would be there.
The rules that you have to have 3.
I don't know the rules either.
Who would be the third string where?
Do they have?
It'd be Nick Mullins.
Well, he's the second.
Trevor,
did they
Nick
take
Mullins
another?
and Seth. No, they did not.
I'll give Seth I'll just say Seth. It's the easiest. Gruden's got me all bought in on Seth. That he'll be on a roster. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get.
Do you know who Payne Durham is?
Why? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. That sounds real familiar.
No, I have no clue who this guy is. He's a Purdue tight end. He's a nerd.
No.
Get him out of here. I'm going to put Anthony Lanfear on there. He's going to make the roster.
What? Is that their starting tight end?
No, that's their backup tight end. They actually have a good starter. I can't remember who it is. It's Cade Otton.
Oh yeah. Duh. Yeah, get Payne out of here with this mustache. You kidding me?
Nah, dude. Lanfear, lampshade. The Scrimsy calls him. Trey, do you see this beer?
Yeah, tan lines. What's your fun fact on this?
Yeah, so I'm going to get your review first, and then I'll tell you, because I don't want it to alter your score. It's going to alter my score. I'll admit it.
Mm-hmm. We know what it is with the cans. They're fine. I do like the color scheme of this, though. It's real summer-esque. We're getting close to summer. Although it's giving me a little bit of Tennessee vibe, so I might have to take some down for that.
Yeah,
Can 6.5.
Wow, you give it much higher of a can score than I thought you would. I'm gonna stick it out. I don't know what it is about the. Go in there. 6.
I always forget about their barcode being the bridge.
Does that change it for you?
No, I just forget about it every time.
Yeah, same thing, different
Such
day.
a good little
These cans.
subtle thing.
It is. It's nice. I just still hate the cans. I don't know what it like. It's just not fun for me. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm gonna say it's a 5.5. I just don't care for the cans.
I probably should have been in the
evergreen.
5s, but I liked this. I liked it. Although that last sip I just took it's leaving a little bit of a not a great aftertaste. So I'm in the moment. I think I'm deducting some points now. I initially enjoyed it. It was it was very tangerine forward.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that first one. It hits you hard.
It does.
But as like a beach beer or lake beer, I think this would hit great.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, out on the water, you could definitely have 2 of these.
For sure.
I don't know that I'm just like sitting around. This wouldn't be like a daily, let me grab a tan lines, but it's situationally very good if you're near the ocean or a lake. It's like a 7.6 for me, maybe. Although I don't know what this is. This aftertaste.
How do you get any aftertaste?
I don't know what's happening.
Well, you're not too far off from me. I put it at a 7.9, and I tried to bring the score down a little bit because once I read it, yeah, I could definitely have 2 of these. I think you nailed it with it being a sipping, like a boat beer.
So were you in
Ice
the
cold.
8s before your fun fact?
I was in the 8s. Well, I was in the 8s with the fun fact. And then I was like, I can't let that throw me off too much.
The fun fact was making it better.
Yes, it is making it better. So this was actually the first beer that Jake Schneider named at Memphis Made. He is the taproom manager. And so this was his beer.
Oh.
So I get my little brother has his own little beer at Memphis Made. So
I had no idea
he
he
bumped it up
even
a little bit.
I had no idea he even worked at Memphis Made.
Yeah, he's the taproom manager at the new location, which is their only location, I guess, now. But yeah, the story is they were talking about it, trying to figure out the name of the beer. And he said, it's a summer beer, right? Okay, tan lines. And he just walked out of the room and called it a day. So it is, and it's good. It's a good name for it because it is a very much so a summer beer. You know?
That is a great name. It's a great name.
It is what it is. So shout out to Jake getting his first name there. Named his first beer. It's a good beer, too. You'd have 2 of them.
Yeah, here you go. He says it's a boat beer, but it's also a sipping beer, a good summer beer for the people. Couldn't have said it better myself, Jake. Well done.
100%.
Well done. All right. Well, here's just some more tan lines being made and to boat beer season. It's right around the corner, Timothy.
Season.
Right around the corner.
It's a lot of things. Lawn season, baby. Lawn season.
It is.
Fertilize. Don't forget to fertilize. Lay it down.
It is growing and greening. We need a next one. We need a good after mow beer for our next one. So come back next week with a fresh cut mow beer. And stay for our hot takes. We'll be back. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page.